When you were broken, when your back was against the wall, when you truly needed people the most, they vanished. The very ones you poured into, the very ones you sacrificed for, turned their backs when your hands trembled and your heart cried out. You had nobody to depend on in those nights, and that loneliness cut deep because you knew in your soul you would have given your all for them. You were there when their lives collapsed. You helped when their backs hit the wall. Yet when your wall crumbled, they walked away. And some didn't just walk away. They laughed while you fell. They whispered behind your name. They kicked you while you were down because jealousy is a silent poison. Some even carried your bloodline. That betrayal came not from strangers, but from the ones who carried your story in their veins. But hear this truth: that rejection was redirection, that pain was purification. Spirit shifted you into a season where your loneliness became your training ground. While they turned away, heaven turned toward you. Years passed. You worked on yourself relentlessly. You rebuilt your mind, your spirit, your strength. And now the tables have turned. Those who couldn't handle you at your lowest now cannot handle you at your greatest. You matured into a force they cannot tame. You changed. You refused to live in the patterns that once held you. The transformation inside of you was undeniable. And once your spirit shifted, your entire life followed. What once felt like scraps now feels insulting. You no longer accept pennies for your worth. You no longer entertain positions that disrespect your value. You stand boldly and say, if you cannot meet my worth, do not even call my name. And doesn't that frustrate them? Jobs, relationships, fake friends, even relatives. They remember the old version of you who settled. They cannot process the new version who refuses to bend. You are living proof that survival births authority. Your resilience became your resume. Your scars became your crown. And those who thought you would never climb have to watch as you ascend without apology. Here's the humor in it all. The very people who said you would never make it now ask themselves in secret, how did they do it? How are they still standing? The answer is simple. You grew. You learned. You refused to quit. They thought you were weak, but you were simply silent. They thought you were finished, but you were simply preparing. Now that you've risen, they are unsettled, because you no longer play their games. You stopped wasting energy proving yourself. You stopped explaining your worth. You stopped begging for a seat at tables where you were never respected. Now you build your own table, and others must earn the right to sit at it. The energy around you has changed. You glow differently. You walk with authority. You carry peace so radiant it convicts the restless. And yes, it intimidates them, because deep down, they know you are untouchable. Relationships that once trapped you no longer tempt you. Offers that once looked shiny now look cheap. You stopped falling for illusions, and that discernment has made you unshakable. This is why they whisper, why they stare, why they fumble in your presence. You are no longer predictable. You are no longer accessible. And the truth is, they don't know what to do with this version of you. At your lowest, they misjudged you. They saw the broken shell but not the eternal seed inside. They assumed your end based on your present. But now your rise exposes their blindness. Your transformation humbles them. Your growth convicts them. Your success terrifies them. Because your very existence now proves every word they spoke against you was a lie. You became the version of yourself they feared you could never be. Strong, steady, radiant, full of wisdom and self-worth. You stand today as a testimony that downfall is not destiny, that pain is not permanent, and that rejection is not the end. You are untouchable now, not because life is perfect, but because you refuse to return to what once broke you. You learned the sacred art of saying no. You set boundaries like walls of gold, and no one can strip you of the value you now recognize. Let this truth be sealed. They could not handle you at your lowest, and now they cannot handle you at your greatest. Their problem is not your burden. You were called to rise, and rise you did. And if this message reaches your spirit today, it is because you were meant to be reminded. You are unstoppable. And now repeat this prayer with me. Thank you for carrying me through the storms that were meant to break me. Thank you for turning my pain into strength. Thank you for removing the masks from false friends and jealous family, exposing those who wished me harm. I pray for continued protection against envy, deceit, and sabotage. Let every plot formed against me collapse under its own weight. Strengthen me daily with wisdom to discern who belongs in my circle and who must remain outside my gates. Guard my heart from bitterness. Let my growth never be hindered by unforgiveness, but let me walk in peace. Provide clarity in every decision, that I may move forward without hesitation, guided by inner knowing and divine direction. Elevate my mind above fear. Replace worry with courage, doubt with certainty, weakness with resolve. Multiply the blessings in my life. Let abundance flow in every area: health, peace, love, opportunities, and resources. Empower me to be a light to others, a living testimony that failure is not final and transformation is possible. Seal this prayer with strength, protection, and prosperity over everyone who hears these words. Amen.